Okay, so I have a Baritone here, and we're going to talk about how to oil these valves. This is the same exact procedure for oiling a tuba. So I'm going to demonstrate on the Baritone, but on your tuba you will follow the same steps. Notice this is a Baritone with 4 valves. We're going to focus on these first 3. The parts of the valve are, I'm going to use the following labels. The place where you push, that's the valve button. And this sort of part that can loosen, that is the valve cap. And the other thing I want you to pay attention to is the following rule. Lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So remember that. You only ever loosen, lefty-loosey, the valve cap. Never, ever, ever twist this to the left, because you can actually cause the valve to fall apart, and you don't know how to fix that. I do. And I don't want to make a house call. So don't lefty-loosey this piece, only this. So what I want you to do is, when you're doing this, set your Baritone sort of down here gently on the floor, and you can kind of hold it with your feet. You're not going to really ever let go of it, but you're going to rest it between your feet so it's not going to fall down. And then get your valve oil, take the cap off. I've already done that, so it's ready to go. And what you're going to do is loosen up the valve cap, lefty-loosey, and it'll just come all the way loose. Then you pick up the valve about halfway. Now I'm just going to take this all the way out so you can see what the valve looks like on the inside. It's sort of like Swiss cheese. We're going to put oil on the silver part, right here. You want to avoid getting oil on this little felt piece here. This piece is going to keep the valve quiet for you, and it's not really designed to get wet, so try to keep the oil off of that. And you oil the outside parts of the valve. It's okay if oil gets into the holes, but you don't need to aim for the holes. So the other thing I want to point out to you is this little white piece here. This is called the valve guide, and there's a tiny little nub that sticks out. And what that does is, if you look down into your valve, you'll see a tiny little notch. It's probably too far away for you to see, but it's a tiny little notch. Oh, there you go. Right there. A little groove inside the valve. The valve guide, the little white piece that sticks out, is designed to fit inside that groove. And as long as those two are together, your Baritone will work. If the valve guide is twisted in such a way that it's not in the groove, your valve won't go up and down very well, and the notes won't sound right. So when you have loosened the valve cap and you lift up your valve about halfway, you don't need to take it all the way out. Take your valve oil, hold your Baritone or your tuba, and you're basically just going to hold it against here, and just some of these drips will just automatically come out on their own. Let it sort of paint the surface. And that's it. And it's just going to kind of sink down in, and it's going to make it nice and loose. Now, I could eyeball the valve guide into the little groove back here. But the other way I can do it is, see, I have purposely off kilter here. I'm going to go till I can't push my valve anymore, and I'm going to turn it to the right. I'm going to feel the valve guide click. There it is. It clicked into the groove. So you can either eyeball it or turn it to the right till you feel it click. Push your valve down halfway and then tighten down the cap. If you have to really crank it, it's probably not lined up right. It should be real easy. Tighten it a little bit. Move the valve up and down to spread the oil around, and you're good to go.